Yo, 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 what's up, fellas?
What's up?
Ahoy.
How we doing?
Pretty good.
I'm not good.
It's a holiday tomorrow, so no work.
I'm on 2 hours of sleep, approximately, so pardon me if I'm a little sluggish tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got really sleepy right before we started recording, and then I had a little, 10-minute cat nap.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I went
well, it
lay
wasn't
down
even
for
10
about an
minutes,
hour.
but it's like 5 minutes, but it was enough.
I almost
me
didn't
right.
make it. I almost fell asleep during the movie. As you guys know, I
Damn.
like to watch the movies before we record, so it's fresh in the skull. But no, I was dozing a little bit. I had to stand up. Yeah, I don't know. It's just my allergies been fucking with me, and Dusty knows. It's like it just the sleep schedule just goes later and later and later and later and later. It's just at some point you gotta just
You're waking up at 5 p.m.
yeah.
Right.
And so I'm at that point now where I just had to reset it. But the other night I was kind of sleepy, and I was like, you know what? I'll go to bed. It's 4 a.m. Let me try to get some early sleep. I fell asleep for like an hour. I woke up an hour later. Then I didn't fall back asleep till like 9. And that happened again last night.
I hate that.
Yeah. So my body's just like fighting me. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to stay up all day and reset. So tonight is the great reset, gentlemen. After the show, your boy's going to get some good sleep. Hopefully.
That's good.
Nice.
I don't want to jinx myself, but.
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
So it's the big one, almost. Episode 90.
Wow.
Episode
That's
90.
awesome.
9-0. We're full speed ahead to episode 100. That's crazy. I don't know if you guys saw, I posted about it in our YouTube community post thing, but
I did.
we just hit like our official 1 year anniversary, I think. Not
Nice.
one. It's not 1 year
No.
since our first show, but it's a year since our what was it? I think it
YouTube.
was YouTube. Yeah, I think since the YouTube was created.
YouTube.
Yeah. So
Really? I thought it was longer for some reason.
no, I think it's it's not exact because we skipped and but
Yeah, because our 1 year, well, we started when the Batman
It's
came
been
out.
2
That's-
years, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
2 years.
52 weeks
No.
in a year, and we're almost at episode 100. So
yeah.
No, but it's been 2 years.
Oh, that's what I meant to say. I'm sorry, 2 years. I posted
okay,
1 year.
yeah.
What an idiot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
Well, I'm bad at what I do. What do you want from me?
yeah, 2 year anniversary.
Because, I mean, yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. No, it has.
But you can tell we missed quite a few. Well, we started late on YouTube, but we also just
Hey,
have missed
shit
some
happens.
weeks.
Shit happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
life gets in the way. We don't record
'Cause
52
there
weeks
is-
out of the year, but we do. as
There
many
is
as we can.
52 weeks. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's not bad, though. 90 out of
Yeah.
No, that's good.
104. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 85%, give or take.
Oh, so how was everybody's week? 2 weeks. We took last week off.
Yeah.
How we doing?
I haven't
It's
done
on
much
Zach
of
Bryan.
anything.
No?
I've been playing Diablo 4.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Diablo
Not much else,
4?
honestly.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that game was terrible.
It was. I mean, it wasn't great on release,
Yeah.
but it's been a year since it released, and
Hmm.
there's been some good changes.
Wouldn't you know? It's
New
getting
season
better
just started.
because
Yeah.
studios are prone to releasing suboptimal games and then fixing
Yep.
them a year later.
Yep. Yeah, they stole a lot of features from some other games, which I mean, Diablo kind of started the genre, so they could really probably steal from whoever they want. But yeah,
GTA 6 next year. You
So
guys
it's good
excited about
again?
that?
Is what you're telling me?
it's great. Yeah, I've been playing it a bunch.
Is it better than that other game you were playing that you wouldn't stop playing?
No, I still like that one a lot more.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, maybe not a lot more now. I still like it more though. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right, Marvin. I'm sorry. I was just looking. 4/27/22 was our first show. So April 27th, 2022. So
Yep.
so yeah,
Yeah.
we are beyond 2 years. Where the fuck did I get a year from? I think it's a year since we started the YouTube, maybe? That has to be it.
No, because 2 years I got that from YouTube.
But what?
Yeah, we created the
Uncharted.
accounts for everything, but we weren't really uploading
Yeah, but what did I see that was a year? I saw something that prompted me to post that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Am I just a dumbass? I don't know. Maybe I'm just a dumbass. I could just be a dumbass. That's fine. Anyhow.
The old
Uncharted was
Mandela effect.
I don't know exactly what day it was, but 2 years. Oh, May 13th. Uncharted was our first video.
May 13th, what?
2022.
Oh, maybe I just misread it as 2023, and I was like, oh, shit. Look, here we
Maybe
are.
so.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Time doesn't exist. It is what it is.
2 years.
Have you watched anything, Marvin, since
No.
we last recorded? Other than this?
I think I mentioned I started reading The Killing Joke, I think.
Oh, you did not mention that.
At
At least I don't recall.
Yeah, no, well, I posted like a little one of the
Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, the quote.
yeah.
Yep. How's that been? You
But
like that? You finished it?
It's good. No, I haven't finished it yet. I kind of put it down when I started playing some games, but I'm gonna get back to it. I got all those recommendations: V for Vendetta, The Last Ronin, which is that movie that's coming out.
So wait, you did not finish The Killing Joke?
No, it's short, but I didn't.
Did you not like it, or you just didn't finish? Okay.
No, I just didn't finish it. I do like it. Yeah.
I was getting worried. I was about to cancel the show.
You can't say that every time I don't like something. You know?
I have
Otherwise,
to. No, I
it's
have
gonna
to.
lose. It's gonna lose the impact.
No.
And no one's gonna care. Oh, he's gonna cancel the show. Oh,
It's like the boy
who
that cried
fucking
wolf.
again.
Yeah, and then one day, guess what? It happens, and then you're all fucked. Everybody's
Yeah,
like, "Oh
no one
shit,
gives a
he
fuck
did it."
because no one gives a fuck about the show because he said it
Hey,
a million times.
All right, well, that's cool that you're liking it. It's a good book.
Yep. I've been reading on my phone. I need to maybe just put it on my tablet.
Yeah, like a Kindle
So
or
it's just
something.
a
Aren't
big-
Kindles like meant to be like easy on the eyes?
Yeah. I have like a little Amazon Fire tablet. Works pretty well. Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool. What you been up to, Dusty?
I watched a few movies since we last got together. I think I told you guys I watched the Ungentlemanly Warfare movie.
Yeah.
That one was pretty good. I watched the Arthur the King, that dog movie with oh my goodness, Bebop Boy. Holy moly, Mark Wahlberg. It was all right. I actually watched Civil War. It was good.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to watching that.
Oh, it's like a movie. It's
Interesting
actually
take,
a dog movie. Arthur the King is like actually about a dog.
Yeah.
I thought you was using the phrase like, people say something's dog when it's bad.
No, it's a pet dog, like a stray dog helps. They're long distance runners, and
Dusty don't
the
talk
dogs keep
slang.
showing up at their stops. And they're like, oh, it's gonna be our pet or
I
whatever.
thought it was about
I mean,
King
that's
Arthur
all
or something.
right.
Hey, Dusty, you got the T-shirt on. What'd you think of the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop 4?
Looks good. Everybody's aging.
A lot. It does look
but,
funny. It looks funny.
A lot of nostalgia in there. So we'll see. I'm still looking forward to it. Yeah.
I hope it's not terrible.
Well, I go into movies like that with a lower
Oh,
expectation.
for sure.
But,
I hope it's not. I mean, it's going straight to Netflix, so I mean,
yeah.
Wasn't it like too actiony looking? Like,
I think they just did that
because
for the trailer.
first two or the first three are very like it's a buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
but I don't.
I think what you might be mistaking for too much action is the fact of the difference in action from the 80s to today.
yes, that's what I mean. They should.
Well,
It's
have
like-
you seen?
they
Did
should
you watch
just
the
keep
second
it-
one, Marvin?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, way more action in the second one than the first. The first one is a little grittier because it was a little earlier, but the second one they go a little more over the top with it.
Can we just talk
see.
about how hilarious it's going to be to see fucking what's his name back? Bronson Pinchot or Pinot? I forget. Surge is the character's name in Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fucking love Surge.
Akmel.
Yeah. I mean, all right, here's the thing. The fucking sequel to Coming to America was dog shit. So, I don't know. Anything is
Right.
possible with this one. But
it's a cash grab.
definitely
I don't know.
is,
They've been
but-
trying to workshop this one for a better part of a decade. They were going to make a series out of it on Netflix for a little while, and then
Yeah.
I don't know, they kept script rewriting it, which the first one had the similar problems. Like they ad-libbed a lot because the script was just a bunch of
and that's what they wanted from him at the time.
Scripts thrown
you know
together.
what I mean? Like that was the thing back then. Yeah. So I went to see Planet of the Apes last week. Marvin, did you finish the trilogy?
Yep, I watched all 3.
How'd you like it? You liked it?
It was good. Yeah.
Great,
I had
right?
already seen the first one, but I hadn't seen the other 2.
My man Caesar.
Yeah, it was good. Caesar is the legend.
Pour one out for the homie because
Shout out
he's dead in this new one. Spoilers.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be interested when you guys watch it. I'm a huge fan of that trilogy. I thought it was great. It's like one of the few, I think, like really good reboots of like an old franchise. Obviously, the original Planet of the Apes with Charlton Heston, based off of that. It goes in a way different direction, but that's what it's based off of. That trilogy. But also, the Planet of the Apes trilogy was like instrumental.
Well, it is a prequel, so
yeah, and I think
it has room to go in a different direction.
I think that trilogy is also instrumental in like helping to build what motion capture has become. Like, I think it's one of like the best examples of motion capture to this day. And like previous to that
it
was
looks
like
crazy, yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Especially
Caesar
Maurice,
looks fucking real in some cases.
Maurice looks the real, like it's indistinguishable from real life.
Yeah.
A lot of times with him. I don't know why specifically him, but
and prior to that was probably his portrayal as Gollum. So fucking, he's like a CGI, like not CGI, a motion capture like master. Unbelievable. He never even won like an Oscar for his work. But yeah. So I don't know. This movie, like it's. I looked it up. It's set like approximately 300 years after the death of Caesar, and the movie opens with like Caesar's funeral, and it's like this. Like you get this text blurb of like, you know, there was a fucking disease. That was caused by humans experimenting, and it caused mankind to like devolve and apes to evolve at a fast rate. I was talking about Andy Serkis, by the way, if anybody didn't know, who mocapped Caesar. But yeah, so then we skip forward and we meet this fucking character who's just, I'm not gonna go into like a whole thing, I just setting the tone, but it's like we meet this character who's like, he's from this like little village, and they raise eagles. And he's a young kid, and he's being sent on his village's, like, you know, quest to adulthood. It's to get, like, a rare, like, egg out of a nest or whatever. And then...
that's good.
Yeah,
At least it's not like some of the shit I've seen on Taboo, where it's like fucking... You remember that show? Sorry,
I do remember the show, but I don't remember that.
All right. This is fun. Go ahead.
But he does his, like, thing, right? And then, like, all of a sudden, the fucking village is attacked by, like, bad apes. And like the bad ape is a gorilla. He's like a fuck and like
the Cobas.
Pretty much, yeah. And he says for Caesar, and it's like, oh fuck, what? That's not. I know you're not talking about my man Caesar.
Yeah.
And then so that kind of like sets the tone, and then the main character has to like go on this like quest to like fucking whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like pretty much it. But so Freya Allen is in this. She plays Ciri in the Witcher show. And she's somebody that the bad apes are looking for. And slowly but surely you start to find out why. And basically at this point in the movie, humans are like fucking apes in real life. Like they are just like cavemen. They're like banging rocks and they can't speak
Simian
and shit.
flu.
Yeah. But she is part of like, I guess like a small group of humans that like retained our fucking brain power.
Mm-hmm.
And she and this group are trying to like reestablish like a human, like a smart human colony type of thing, and like to take
She
back
get out of
over
a
the world.
spaceship?
No, she doesn't, unfortunately. They did that Easter egg in the first one. I don't know if you remember, but it was on the news.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he never came back yet. Charlton Heston's character.
Right.
He only took off.
Further. Oh. Okay.
So Marvin, in the first one,
The
original Planet of the Apes.
No,
I saw
I'm saying
the first original one.
the first of the trilogy.
Oh, okay.
There's,
the first of the trilogy.
there's
Okay.
like on the news on a screen, like kind of like off to the side. There's like a news report of a space launch. It's a guy going into space, an astronaut.
Oh, so that's
That's Charlton Heston's character, who comes back in the first one. It's just a little Easter egg. But I guess there is room to do that in this. But it just basically the point I was getting at is just the movie just arrives at the place where we left off, where like humans lost, apes won. Now it's like, all right, well, humans didn't fully lose. They're trying to like gain back what they lost. And I'm just like, all right, that's distant. That's not interesting to me. We've already seen that plot, man versus ape. Like, I don't.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And it's just it's like the same thing with just like a new cast of people. And I was and honestly, none of the characters in this were that interesting. The only interesting premise is that misinterpretation of or the varying interpretation of Caesar's sort of message.
What
right?
he stood for. Yeah, that's cool.
And what he stood for.
Like
apes strong together.
Yeah, but well, right. So the bad apes, I guess, took it like literally, like apes stronger together. Like we'll do whatever the fuck we want. And then there's a character in this who's like a fucking monk or some shit ape, and he like he understands like the true message of Caesar, which because Caesar fought to bring peace between like everybody, right?
Yeah.
And but that it's like a cool premise, but to me, I don't know, it didn't really work because it's like, well, I know what Caesar's true message is, so there's no ambiguity there for me. So I'm watching two groups, like clearly there is a wrong and a right group. It's not like there's any room for interpretation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw it. I know what Caesar stood for. So I don't know. It was just a little bit weak to me. But
It's an interesting, yeah.
I won't say it was a bad movie, but I don't didn't really do anything for the series, if I'm being honest. So it was a little bit of a letdown. But you know, it's a new trilogy. Got to have a new trilogy to continue the old trilogy.
The Star Wars effect.
Yeah, that's what we do.
That's right.
The Marvel
Keep the universe
effect.
alive.
I also watched The Fall Guy the other night, which
Yeah, I've seen that. It's good.
I don't know if you're going to talk about it in the news, so I apologize, but I don't know if you heard, Marvin, but that shit got pushed to fucking digital within like a fucking week after being released, which must be like a fucking record.
Right.
And you know, we talk about this more and more, movies coming out bombing. I think this weekend marks the worst weekend like almost in 40 years for movie opening on Memorial Day.
Yeah, for
and
local.
And that's Furiosa. So like
Garfield,
Furiosa,
Garfield in the
fuck.
dead heat with Furiosa. They're trying to fight who's gonna win. We still got tomorrow because it's Memorial Day weekend, but
yeah, so like film Twitter's like arguing over like, is this the death of theater or the theater experience? We talk about it all the time. I don't know what it is, but it ain't good. But I was sort of semi-assuming like, oh, that must mean Fall Guy's bad. Stupid me, I forgot that like box office performance has nothing to do with whether the movie's good. Dude, Fall Guy was great.
Studio's spending too much money.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk too much about the movie specifically because I don't know if we're going to cover it this month coming up, but it was a fun fucking movie. It wasn't like, it didn't like, you know, break the mold for like action comedies, but it was fun. Bless you. It was fun. The like rom-com elements of it were fucking great. Way better than that other fucking piece of shit we watched a few months back. Anyone but you.
Yeah.
And they had actual chemistry, Marvin. You'll get to watch a rom-com where there's like this actual chemistry between the two leads. And let me tell you something. Ryan Gosling, he is fucking funny. I've never seen him have a bad performance in a comedy role. Like he's a funny fucking dude. I thought this movie was great. So I'm glad I watched it.
We should cover it then.
Maybe we'll cover it for the show. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I've been watching. This week I gotta really start buckling down on all the shows that I'm backed up on. Like it's bad. It is bad now. And I just read a list of shows that are coming out in next month, June.
Bro.
Like
big
The Acolyte.
Oh,
this
got
summer.
it. Yeah, it's rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're making Marvin watch Chinatown today, folks. Big for him.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, as I was doing some research for the movie, I saw that David Fincher is in talks to make a Chinatown prequel series for Netflix. The original writer of the movie, Robert Towne, is on board despite being 900 years old. And allegedly Henry Cavill is in talks to star.
Oh my God.
And I hadn't heard about this, but I'm excited, but I do wish it were a new IP. And, I'm only bringing this up because we were just talking about Planet of the Apes. But because like The Killer was so fucking good and David Fincher's so good, but that's Hollywood now. You just rehash old great movies and there's just no creativity. Right. And you know, in a year or two they're gonna announce the fucking Jaws reboot trilogy starring The Rock as the shark or some shit.
At least though, like it's a prequel, so I'm okay with like prequels, maybe spin-offs, maybe. Yeah. But like prequels are good. I mean, especially if it's like a really good premise of something.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't mind learning more about or diving more into. Like I don't have a problem with that.
Well, we'll talk about it a little bit later. I think a prequel could be bad and good in this case. But we'll get into it a little bit later when we talk about the actual movie. But yeah, I don't know. Could be cool. I don't know about Henry Cavill playing him. I can't like him and Jack Nicholson just have like vastly different like personas. I feel.
I can see it.
Could
LA noir type with the suit.
If it's not that, it's Jack Nicholson is like such a specific behavior. Like I don't know if again I don't know. Well, we'll just talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Just remind me. Bring it up later because I just was gonna say like the whole time I was watching this, I like watching it as like an adult man. I mean, I've seen it obviously millions of times this movie, but like I'm just like you notice the little nuances in his performance where you're like, oh, that's the Joker's laugh, or oh, that's Jack Napier talking. Like he's just Jack Nicholson is like a once in a lifetime type of guy, and like he has a very specific delivery and the way he carries himself that I don't know if somebody else could imitate, but we'll see. What's up, Dusty? You looking like you're getting ready to say something or sneeze again?
No, I was just thinking of all the Jack Nicholson impersonators, but I get what you mean by nobody can do what he does, but a lot of people can.
Yeah, you can impersonate, sure, for sure, yeah. But yeah, so that's been my 2 weeks. Just 2 movies. I did watch another movie. One of the nights I couldn't sleep, I was like, I got to put something else on, and I made a new playlist. A music playlist this week, and it's like a glam rock, like hair metal thing, and I put a couple of Kiss songs on it, and I was like, it reminded me of that movie Detroit Rock City. Do you remember that movie where the kids go see Kiss in Detroit? And I was like, I haven't seen this movie in a while. I remember that being funny, and I put it on. Sure as shit, it was funny, and I liked it. It was great. I remember it. But yeah, so that's all I did. What's going on in the news, Dusty? It's 2 weeks we missed.
Yeah, we got a little bit of news. I guess we can start with some of the stuff you posted in Discord. Steven Spielberg's next film coming out May 15th, 2026. Supposedly his untitled UFO film, script written by David Cope, Jurassic Park and War of the Worlds writer. So, yeah, that should be good.
I just want to point out, there is like... There's like a very specific difference between an alien movie and a UFO movie. And the fact that it's being described as a UFO movie is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like...
I guess, yeah.
I mean, okay, so he did a UFO movie in the past, right? Close Encounters. And that was very specific.
E.T. is...
E.T.'s like an alien movie, right?
That's, yeah.
But I'm thinking more in line of like... Think of like the first half of Signs, where it's like the fucking crop circles and like this little mystery unfolding, and it's like kind of creepy, but you don't really see anything. Like imagine Signs, but in the hands of Steven Spielberg. Oh God, I think that'd be magical.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that movie? Have you guys ever seen Super 8?
Super 8. That's the hotel. No, that's
no.
They all have special abilities.
No. That's the fuck movie was that? No, I'm talking about. There's a movie J.J. Abrams directed, Super 8. It's about a group of kids in the summer of 1979. They witness a train crash, and
that's right.
Some weird stuff starts to happen, and it's like very Steven Spielberg inspired. And ever since I saw Super 8, Steven Spielberg produced it, so that's why I say it's inspired by him. But his fingerprints are felt heavily in that movie, and he just has like this like I just hope this is gonna be like I don't want it to be like creepy or scary. I want like a kid's like Goonies adventure type of movie with the fucking UFO. God, it'll be so good. Basically,
Yeah,
I want Super 8, but done by Steven Spielberg. I guess that's what I'm saying. But yeah, so that's exciting.
Good. All right. And some news you'll probably like, Dan. Venom: The Last Dance is going to be the final film in the series.
Will it though?
Tim Rothschild, or I think is his name, head of Sony, said yes.
Oh, that idiot.
It's the last one, so yeah. It's directorial debut of Kelly Marcel. She wrote the first 2 films, but she's getting her hands on as directing this one, so we'll see how it goes. But they're super excited about it with an October release. It should do well.
Mm-hmm.
All the kids love that stuff, so yeah.
Super exciting.
Yeah, and then they moved Craven the Hunter to December, and they said they do it because they're really excited about it, and they think they'll have a better chance of doing numbers in Christmas than they would when they did have it. But
Don't
yeah,
you
it's
mean
coming out after.
Craven the Conservationist?
Yeah.
God.
And
Please, what are we
so, yeah.
doing?
So we got the Sony verse.
Speaking of Craven, Aaron Taylor Johnson, he was fucking funny as hell in Fall Guy as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good movie.
It's a good movie.
I think we should cover it next month. But
28 years later has begun production officially. It's underway. So the new trilogy is now started. There's no stopping it.
they should call it 28
apparently-
movies later.
Yeah. Cillian Murphy is allegedly involved he's actually reportedly involved as a producer, allegedly involved as an actor. Some rumors say you're going to be surprised at the role, so we'll see.
I thought
what
it was
happens there.
confirmed that he's coming back.
He's coming back as a producer. I don't know if it's confirmed that he's coming back
I
as
see.
an actor.
I see.
So yeah.
I still haven't seen the original.
Ooh, we might have to put that on the Make Marvin watch list. It's got to go on
definitely. Disney had their Disney up front where they talked about a whole bunch of information. They got a Daredevil Born Again trailer that they dropped and an Ironheart trailer. So the show is not dead. Apparently they're not going to shelf it. They do plan on releasing it. It is coming out because apparently it's been done forever. We were supposed to get it like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, the world has been
And-
clamoring for Ironheart.
They haven't said anything about it, but apparently they dropped a trailer for it. So that was the big news with that.
There's a lot of Marvel news, actually. Do you have it all?
Yeah, we got Michael Leslie currently in negotiations to write the upcoming MCU X-Men movie, according to Deadline. And Giancarlo Esposito
Juan Carlo.
teasing his role in the
John.
MCU. He said his role is going to be unexpected, but apparently also big enough to get its own series.
I saw
So,
that. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
I don't know what that means, but that'll be interesting.
I really,
Um,
I mean, I just hope he plays Xavier, but it's not gonna give Xavier his own show. Did you see the other part of the X-Men thing? Apparently, according to like one of the leakers, like I think it's just engagement farming at this point because they were like the X-Men movie's underway and it reportedly is gonna focus on the female X-Men, and it's like everybody in the comments was like, "Wow, fucking Marvel's woke! Like, of course this is gonna happen," and it's like. There's no confirmation of that. It's just this is obviously the reaction that they wanted to get this poster.
Yeah.
But who fucking cares too? The females of the X-Men universe are fucking badass. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
well,
see.
I mean, if they want to follow anything of some success, they could go look no further than Bo DeMaio's X-Men 97. It's the highest rated
yeah,
Marvel show that they've ever put out.
I've
With
heard it's a
100% Rotten Tomato meter.
I've seen
Even
people.
though nobody's watched it and it's got no Samba TV or Nielsen ratings through its entirety of the release, I think they said it was the second most watched animated show that they put out since the first season of What If. But when they dropped What If,
yeah,
they only dropped one episode. And when they dropped X-Men 97, they dropped 2 or 3 episodes. So they're comparing the numbers of people watching 3 episodes, all those watch time versus the people watching What If.
I've seen people calling it a masterpiece.
It's good. It's. I still have my gripes with it, but it's really good. They do the comics justice. It's good.
That's gonna be the first thing I.
But nobody's
watch.
watching it except for the hardcore fanatic
course, yeah.
nerds.
Yeah.
So nobody's seen it, but it's apparently the best thing they've put out. So they have a
That's
have
cool.
a recipe they could use,
Yeah, I mean,
but they're not going to.
Nah, I mean, there's so many stories they could pull from. I mean, hopefully they just do it well. And I don't know if you picked up on this, but like, Blade is in a similar situation, not a similar situation, but Blade's been going through like turmoil forever.
Rewrites, yeah.
Well, now apparently they're looking for a new writer yet again. I'm starting to think Mahershala Ali's the fucking problem because the amount of writers that are coming through this fucking project is crazy. And now apparently they're like, all right, we're settled on a story. We just need a writer to come in and do it. Like, how hard could it be to write a fucking Blade movie, bro? He's fucking Blade. Look no further than the early 2000s movies that are like wildly fucking popular. Hire Guillermo del Toro immediately. Call it a fucking day. Right. Like, what are we doing? unless Guillermo doesn't want to come back to do some shit like that. But the other thing I saw is, did you pick up on apparently Thor 4 is underway as well?
No,
Sorry,
I didn't see that.
Thor 5 rather.
Right.
No. Yeah. And Hemsworth.
I know he's been talking about doing it because he wasn't too happy with the way that Thor 4 went. Love and Thunder, is that what it was called?
I think he admitted to like kind of being too comedic in the role. Like he said, he partially blamed himself too. Maybe that was to just deflect from the hit, because Taika got a lot of heat from that movie for no reason.
He lost a job because of that movie, didn't he? Didn't they pull him off one of the Avengers
Wars?
movies that was supposed to? Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, you're right. I think he was gonna do. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, he was gonna do like one of the Kang movies or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Pulled him off.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody's weird about it. I think maybe they went a little too funny, and that movie has its problems. But that movie's not nearly as bad as people make it out to be. Ed's one of those people. Ed, I know you're gonna be listening to this. You're fucking wrong about Love and Thunder. It's not that bad.
Ooh.
It's not great, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I think that's all the Marvel movie news I have, though, unless you have anything else.
Just like nothing really like solidified, just like little rumors and things like that.
Yeah, rumors and leaks.
Yeah, like Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man 4 is like sort of slowly starting to develop. There was the X-Men one. Apparently the Indian dude from Midnight Mass and all like the Mike Flanagan shows, the Indian guy with the beard, I can't think of his name. He recently came out and said he was in the runnings for Reed Richards and lost the role to Pedro. So he was like the other option. Could you imagine the internet would have collapsed if they got an Indian Reed Richards? Oh my goodness.
Oh man, that would have been amazing.
But yeah, that's all the stuff that I could think of off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. Well, we were talking about Civil War earlier. I tell you, I watched it. Shout out to A24. This is their second movie ever to hit $100 million at the box office. I think it's at a 107.7. They still have releases pending for China in June as well as Japan in October, so it's going to do even better. Obviously, we know what their first best movie is 2022's Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was 143 million globally. So A24 is still showing all these fucks that you can make a decently priced movie and make some money doing it.
Yeah, but they want to actually they want to fucking like come off of that path. They want to start fucking making big budget movies. Remember we reported on that?
They want to do both. I think they want to step into the big budget movies, but I think with what they're doing, I think they could approach it properly. I don't know that they'll. I mean, I don't think their ego's gotten. They've got $200 million movies, and that's good. But you don't. When you start making $1 billion movies, and then you start putting out crap when you're spending $200 million on movies, then your ego's gotten to you.
Yeah. So
but
you're
I don't
saying
think they're there yet.
So you're saying that they're actually making money?
Yes.
Okay. On movies that they've spent a relatively
small amount on. Small budget movies are doing well for them.
So was the movie as bad as people are saying it is? It's got like really bad reviews, I think.
I enjoyed it. It's not what people wanted it to be, I think, is the big difference.
It has a 7.4 on IMDb.
Because people are going in wanting to see something, expecting to see something, and you don't see that.
I get what you're saying.
It's not.
It's the MAGA
it's
people
not
are
about
hate bombing
the
it,
Civil War. It's about the people in.
Yeah, of course.
In this instance of what's happening, so
yeah.
It's completely different than what a lot of people get, and so I can understand some disappointment. But I thought it was a good movie. It's well done.
Will it be his last movie? I think Alex.
Is
Garland...
it only in theaters right now? You saw it in theaters?
No,
no. I think it's out this week.
Okay.
It just came out. Hey, found it. It came out in other territories. So
He
Got
said to the
Shout out to
Guardian
VPNs.
when that movie came out, when the Guardian came out, he said, I'm sorry, when the movie came out, he did an interview in the Guardian and he said that this might be his last film as a director.
interesting.
He doesn't have any plans to direct, which is a shame because he is a phenomenal filmmaker. Like, it's actually crazy how good his movies are. I mean, I know you've seen them all, Marvin. And I'm going to name some. Let's see if you've seen them. So,
I've
Men.
seen Ex Machina.
Oh, that's the big one. You've seen. That's great.
I
Annihilation
haven't
was
seen
fucking great. Men was great.
I haven't seen Annihilation.
The miniseries Devs was fucking unbelievable.
I think I started that one or something. I need to revisit that.
He did. He's done a couple of Danny Boyle movies. Danny Boyle. So Alex Garland was part of 28 Days Later. He wrote Sunshine, which is a Danny Boyle movie. Wrote 28 Days Later. I just said there's a movie called The Beach that Danny Boyle did. That's
Is that the DiCaprio movie?
yeah, the one from 2000. He did that. Like,
Yeah.
this dude's a fucking talented guy. He wrote the screenplay for Dread. Remember the Dread movie that came out? Not the one with fucking
Not the one with Stallone.
not the one with
or
Stallone.
the one
with Carl
yeah.
Urban, the good
Carl
Dread
Urban,
movie.
yeah.
Well, the other one's pretty good too for what it is. But I'm talking like the good one.
Well, people liked the new one because Carl was like, I don't need to take the mask off. Stallone was like, I want to take just like the old Mandalorian thing. I want people to see my face while I act, and I need to take the helmet. No, you don't take the fucking helmet off, bro.
The Carl Urban one was way more comic book accurate as far as I understand. I've never read the comics. And then the other one's just the Stallone movie. So it's like they're like it's a big difference. But hopefully it's not his last movie, but we'll see. What else you got? Did you speaking of I'm sorry, real quick, since we're on the news, none of us care about this. I was surprised about this. Did you see that Millie Bobby Brown married Bon Jovi's son?
No.
They're like super young, I feel like, to be married. Am I just like mad old? Do you guys think it's too young to get married in like your early 20s? I think it is. I feel like you're not even like an adult yet, really.
No.
Marvin, you
how
tell
long were
us.
they
You just
together
turned
before?
21. I don't know.
I just turned 20.
No.
How long were they together before that? I mean, I think it's too.
I have no idea.
I think it just depends on how long you're together with a person.
But-
if you've only been
yeah,
together like
hey.
a year, maybe that's too soon. But
Okay, that's fair.
I think for ladies it's a little bit different than men because ladies have the biological clock. They want to get that security and settle down with somebody they know they can start a family and have kids with, and you can't
Very
wait till
true.
you're 35 or 40 because
That's
then
fair.
you got to start worrying about what do they call
health
that?
risks, complications.
Yeah, that's fair.
Geriatric birthing or something like that is what they call it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Even though it's like past the age of 35, they still call it geriatric
35.
birthing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But anywho,
I just thought that was funny. I was like, okay.
yeah. No, I don't think it's too young at all. I haven't reported on this in a while because it keeps going back and forth. Sony and Apollo apparently move ahead with the Paramount bid process. One of the two backed out of an initial plan. They were going to do an all-cash $26 billion offer for Paramount. But one of them got a little cold
All
feet.
cash.
Paramount stocks dropped a little bit, and now they're moving ahead. They've both signed NDAs to open the books to see what Paramount has, and they're going to go in together to buy.
Oh wow.
I don't know if it's going to be Paramount outright or just Paramount's content. So that's we talked about it probably a couple months ago, and a lot of people have made offers, and I think Sherry Redstone is her name. I didn't write it down, but she's one that holds all the Paramount stock. She hasn't done anything with it, so we're still waiting to see. But there has been some movement, so maybe Paramount Plus is going away and going somewhere else. But
Crazy,
that's the news
crazy
for
stuff.
that. Yeah.
What's going to happen to our
Oh,
boy
speaking
Taylor?
of offers, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, what's going to happen to our boy Taylor?
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be good. I think he's solid. They'll keep him going.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that? So 50 Cent made a documentary about Diddy, right?
Yes.
And
Alright.
apparently Netflix bought that documentary.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. I saw the screen grab. It showed the Netflix thing, and it said, did he do it? Is
Did
what
he
it's
do
called.
it? Yeah.
That's actually hilarious.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
What did he make this in like the last month? Like it took him a month to make a documentary, or he is?
I think he's been sitting on it. I think he's been sitting on it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that a lot of people, because the video that got released of like Diddy beating up his girlfriend at the time in the hotel, like right in front of the elevator. Like,
so then he's guilty.
That was from what,
for sure,
5 years ago, and so they just now released it.
Yeah.
This is something that a lot of people in the industry probably knew about.
I mean, there's been rumors about Diddy's behavior.
He's a powerful guy, probably has a lot of influence, so you don't really want to come out. It's like Harvey Weinstein, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So he definitely probably got Biggie killed.
On ice off the balcony.
That's the consensus.
I mean, if he's guilty of this stuff, I mean, come on, you know, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Where there's smoke, yeah.
And that also means he probably ended up getting like Tupac killed too. Well, that was Suge Knight, but right, because wasn't that one that like Tupac wanted to fucking leave Suge's record label?
Death Row.
I don't know.
I'm not
exactly sure.
That like West Coast, East Coast like beef was like so weird. I'm a little upset that like I missed out on it because I was like too young to really understand what was going on. But like
it was wild.
Beef was way different back then.
Yeah, that's fucking people were dying.
It was always violent.
Yeah. Now it's like fucking soft ass Drake getting shit on by fucking God knows who.
He's still getting cooked, and it's been like 3 weeks. It's hilarious.
He's still getting cooked.
It's so funny.
Did you see South Park fucking cooked Lizzo?
No. What?
Oh my God. It was fucking hilarious.
I watched that. Have you seen that yet?
I didn't, but then I
watched it the other night. It was hilarious.
I saw just a new episode or what?
They're not doing new seasons anymore. They do like 50-minute specials like Marvel does. So they don't even make a full-length movie. It's just like a 50-minute special.
I don't know
if this was on the Ozempic fat shot.
Have you ever watched the documentary about how South Park is made?
Mm-mm.
They became famous for it, really. I mean, they're famous for everything else, but like it became a famous thing. They like make their show like in a week leading up to the next episode. Like they are literally a lot of the time back in the day submitting the episode to Comedy Central like hours before it goes live on the air.
That's why it's always like so current.
Yeah, that's how they're like, you know, something happens like today, you bet it's going to be in South Park next week.
It's like a weekly comic strip.
Yeah.
It's like SNL almost, except animated.
Dude, that takes a lot of work. That's like a well-oiled machine to do that. And obviously it's a high-pressure environment to do that and be so sick. Imagine just doing that and being so successful, like, and being such a long-running show that's just so consistently funny.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so yeah, like Dusty said, they kind of, I think, went away from, they did it in COVID. They went away from like the weekly episodes and they just do these like 1 hour specials.
Nice.
And this one was on Rovectin, which I don't know too much about, but I from what I understand, it was like originally released to like help with like diabetes or whatever.
Yeah.
One of those weight loss.
But I think, but
shots
it's,
or something.
Yeah, but it's super expensive. So like celebrities like Oprah and stuff are abusing it. Allegedly. And it's like
you see some before and after pictures of some of these celebrities who have been on it,
and some of them look sick.
Like the skinny ones look like skeletons, ghoulish. But the ones that were fat look great. Yeah, it's amazing.
Sunken faces. Yeah, shit's just like stretching out.
Yeah,
it's bad.
So this obviously the QAnon folks got a hold of that too, and they're running away with it, but because they are like linking it to fucking sucking on fucking like stem cells and shit, and like, you know, they're losing they don't have access to their stem cells, so all these celebrities are losing their eternal life or whatever, like some just crazy shit. But anyhow, South Park episode's about Rovectin and everybody's using it apparently. But there's a scene where they do like, I'm on Lizzo, and it's like basically
if you're poor and you can't afford the drug, they prescribe you Lizzo.
Now I don't know too much about her other than the fact that she's like sort of like she's like championing being like
championing, yes,
like
body positivity,
like body positivity, like, you know, she's a bigger lady and she's like, hey, I'm healthy and fine, it's like whatever.
Yeah, one of the side effects of listening to Lizzo is
so
shitting out your ears.
I didn't watch the whole episode, so I don't know the context of it, and so I don't know if they were like shitting on her or if they were kind of like giving her props.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
What? 100% shitting on
The
her?
side effects of listening to Lizzo.
Well, that was for
were
sure
bad.
shitting on her music, but I think the body positivity part of it, I think, was like legit. But then she did a video reacting to it, and she's like, "I'm that bitch. I'm 100% that bitch. The fucking one of the biggest, longest running shows ever is like talking about me."
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was just funny. But they shit on everybody. I think they just do it. And it's like all in good
they don't
faith.
hold it back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 I did. Have you guys ever seen Book of Mormon? Their Broadway show?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's
Not a
so
big
fucking.
Broadway show guy.
I'm not either, but that shit is fucking hilarious. It's about a group of Mormons, and when you're in the Mormon faith, you go around and you like spread the word of Mormonism, and it's about these like kids that go and do that, and they go to Africa, and the whole point is like these Africans being like, "Yo, we're fucking starving. Like, we don't give a fuck about your God. Like, where's your?" It's just really fucking funny. But I went to see it with all my friends, knowing South Park. We're fans of South Park, and it's like, obviously, you know the mind of Matt and Trey, and like what this show is gonna be. I came home with a shirt that said "Fuck you, God" in African. Like, that's the kind of show it was.
In African?
Yeah, it's in like Swahili or some shit, whatever the language is.
Okay. got
In
it.
African language, yeah, is what I meant to say.
Yes. Yeah.
So when we went to one of like the early shows, and like you could tell there were like just theater people going, like old men and women, like on a date, like date night in your 70s, like, oh.
Oof.
And you could tell they just like read in the paper, like, oh, here's this show that's like really popular. Let's go check it out because we like theater. And I shit you not, there was like 3 full rows of people that were there before the intermission that didn't come back after the intermission.
Yeah, we're outta
they were just
here.
like, nah, we're done. It was so
Yeah,
fucking
that's funny.
So that added
That's
to the
like
experience.
that. There was a movie I watched. It was like a movie kind of based on like church and religion and stuff, but the movie was about this pastor that was actually it was actually like a secretly gay pastor, and it was like a comedy like satire movie, and so there was all these like older Black Christian people that went. And they're just when it gets to those points in the movie, it's like, oh my God, you know, it's like the horror. Like, it's just funny how that works out that way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, so what else we got, Dusty?
We got season 4, Only Murders in the Building. We got a release date and a trailer.
Oh,
August
sick.
27th.
I didn't
So,
see the trailer.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow, guys.
Wait, the
That's
show?
good?
August 27th.
Oh, the trailer's coming out tomorrow.
No, the trailer's out.
Yeah.
The show is releasing on August 27th, tomorrow. And it'll come out weekly. Only Murders in the Building.
What do you mean
Season 4.
tomorrow? Are you?
Oh, I mean, sorry. And sorry. Oh, I'm thinking it's August
Tomorrow,
for some
August.
reason. I got August on the brain.
I was like, what the fuck
Sorry,
is
guys,
happening
it's-
right now? No, I
Dusty's
wasn't
got
sure
a
if
fucking wormhole in the closet.
I'm moving in August, so I've got August
I see.
August on my
Time
brain.
is
So yeah,
slipping a
August
little bit.
27th is when it's coming out. So we got a couple months. The
About to
trailer's
see a
out, though.
picture of fucking Dusty fucking next to fucking FDR and shit at like some speech in fucking
Like
And
he's
I'm having a
1938.
stroke.
Dusty?
Yeah, tomorrow.
He's that dude that like
The end is
conspiracy
near.
theorist show and like that he shows up in like all these.
Look at this guy. Look. Yeah.
Have you seen that guy, the time traveler?
No.
Just Google the time traveler. There's like
That's
this.
funny, though.
There's like a guy who like seemingly shows up in like all these historic photos, but wearing like modern. He basically looks like Dusty. He's got like a fucking beanie on, and like
That's fucking funny.
it looks like he has like a
Where's
smartphone in
Waldo?
his hand. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. Okay, so say this again. So Only Murders
Only
in the
Murders in
Building.
the Building. The trailer's out. You can watch
Uh-huh.
it right now.
Okay.
The series drops in August on the 27th.
And what-
Episode release weekly.
So where did tomorrow come in?
Because today is the 26th, and I was thinking of August because
I
I
see.
have August in my brain, so I thought it was
Oh.
August 26th.
August
Tomorrow.
August tomorrow. Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's hilarious.
No,
All
that's
right.
fair. I just wasn't sure if it was me because I'm on no sleep, and I was looking at Marvin, and Marvin was confused, but I didn't know if he was confused at my confusion or confused at what you were saying. So I was just
Yeah,
How's it
I
going?
forgot it was still May for a minute there.
We have a
What
few
happened.
months. We have a few months.
Yeah.
Oh,
we got a
Well, that's
few
cool.
months.
I love that show. That's a great show. Are you caught up
I
on
was
it?
yeah, is it? I haven't seen it yet. I was asking if it was good.
It's a great show. Now, listen.
Yeah, it is.
You've gotten to see Steve Martin here on this very podcast twice already. You saw him in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and you saw him in The Jerk.
Yep.
He's a funny guy.
And I've seen him in Bringing Down the House.
Okay, you've seen him in Bringing Down the House.
Queen Latifah.
But
Great
Martin
movie.
Short is another comedy legend from
Martin
the
Short.
80s, and he was like Steve Martin's like fucking tag team duo. Like, so them back together in this show is just hilarious in and of itself because their chemistry is fucking gold. But the show is actually good. If you like whodunits, like it's a fun whodunit like comedy.
Okay.
It's
I don't
Yeah.
think I've seen anything with Martin Short in it.
Oh,
interesting.
we got to get him to watch Three Amigos.
Yes, actually, that might be
you
the
guys
next
mentioned
month's
that.
thing Marvin watched. Yep.
guys
Venue
mentioned
Sports. This is the Disney, Fox, and WB Discovery joint venture into the sports streaming package.
Venue.
It's supposed to come out in fall 2024, but if you look at their website, it says launch is conditional on receiving regulatory approval and is expected for fall 2024. They're going to have the Justice Department review their proposal because this could be construed as a monopoly
Enough.
or
Yeah, break 'em up.
competitive. So I don't, it's three different companies saying, you guys that like sports want to stop paying all three of us separately, just pay all three of us at once. We'll put it all together for you. Seems like it's what the audience would want.
What could go
A
wrong?
little bit cheaper or no?
But then they'll just start jacking up the price every month. So you know how that goes.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Speaking of trailers, did you guys watch the trailer for Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, Beetlejuice.
What do you think, Dusty?
It looks great.
I'm actually
I'm super
really
excited,
excited for it because Tim Burton's not a sellout. I don't think he has some of the most popular movies that ever existed, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could have easily sold out over the years and done sequels and shit like that. And I know for a fact he's like been offered sequels for Nightmare Before Christmas and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
So I can only imagine that this movie's really good. Michael Keaton's gone around saying it's really good, but somebody caught a little Easter egg in the trailer that I didn't. And I'm embarrassed because usually I catch these things. And I know the Beetlejuice lore because I've watched that movie a billion times growing up. So obviously it's about Lydia's dad. He dies. They come back to town for his funeral, whatever. Daughter uncovers the Beetlejuice. Do you remember in the original when he goes to marry Lydia and he has a finger with a ring on it and he goes, don't worry about this, babe. She meant nothing to me.
I do remember that.
Well, what's her name? Who's in this movie? What the fuck? Monica Bellucci, I think, is the actress. I got to look it up. She's missing a ring finger.
Oh fuck!
So one of the main characters in this movie is the chick that he fucked over to marry Lydia.
Interesting.
So I think just that alone has me like super fucking interested.
That's
awesome. Actually, good pickup.
Yeah, it is Monica Bellucci. So I think it's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since Michael Keaton's been in like a comedy role, so that'll be good. I'm excited for that.
All right. Vin Diesel, Riddick Furia, set to begin production on August 26th. So today,
Yeah.
we're at Dusty's head.
Right.
This is David Toohey, writer and director. He did the previous three movies. We don't really know a whole lot about this except Riddick finally goes home to Furia only to find that it's not a dead planet. There are other Furians, and they're fighting some big monster. And he finds out there's some that are all not all that dissimilar from him. So that's the plot point. But they've begun production, so we should get to see that within the next 12 to 16 months, hopefully, if you're interested in that.
I might get a little hate for this, but I'm not a huge fan of the Riddick verse. I was never really a big fan, and I haven't seen all of them. I've only seen, I think, the original one, which was Pitch Black or whatever
Pitch Black, yeah. And then there was the Chronicles of Riddick, which was Carl Urban was the bad guy with the undead or the deadites or whatever they call them, the necromancers.
Yeah.
And then they basically redid Pitch Black when they just called it Riddick, but it was not it was more like a requel than a redo or a remake.
Richard B. Riddick. I just don't,
because it had the priest The priest from the first one was in it. He like gave up his position.
So what? It was a remake.
It's kind of they basically redid the first one, but not really.
Okay.
I mean, they did it in spirit almost. Yeah, it's a requel. It's literally a requel.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because the same thing that happens to him happened in the first one, but it was as a guy that he met in the first one. So it's basically the same movie all over again. But
yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never got into these movies. I don't even remember if I've seen Chronicles of Riddick.
I don't know if I've seen. I maybe like seen the first one in passing or something. I mean, it seemed interesting. I was just super young. But
Yeah.
I would like to watch them, I think.
They're fun movies. He's an interesting character.
There's like games and
Riddick.
shit. It's like a lot of fucking.
They're fun movies.
Oh,
I've seen all three. The first one's still the best, I think. But yeah, they're good.
Okay.
I recommend them.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
This one you might enjoy, Dan. Our buddy Glenn Powell, your favorite actor. He had a Sunday sit down with Willie Geist, and on it, he gave credit to his rise to prosperity. And he said he was just kind of a second-rate actor until the great debaters.
The Devil? Did he sell his soul to the devil?
In which our boy Denzel Washington,
Yeah.
he said, Denzel really pushed me out of the nest a bit and said, you need to double down on yourself. You should give it a shot. And ever since then, he's tried harder and he's become good. And he says he sees Denzel every now and again. And Denzel says, yo me, buddy, yo me. So
Yeah.
if you don't like Glenn Powell, you can thank Denzel Washington. Dan, how do you feel about that?
Well, Glenn Powell also said that he described Anyone But You as having cultural significance. So, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Not sure about that guy.
Denzel is the reason that he got so big. Okay, let's talk about Kevin Costner. We talked about our boy Taylor. Yellowstone. Kevin's finally opened up about this. It does seem like this was a timing issue from the very beginning. In his interview, I think it was Deadline. It may have been Variety. I forget. Sorry, I didn't write it down. Yeah, these were his words. I made a contract for seasons 5, 6, and 7 in February. And after a 2 or 3 month negotiation, they made another contract. They wanted to redo that one. And instead of seasons 6 and 7, it was 5A and 5B. And maybe we'll do 6. They weren't able to make those. Horizon was set in the middle, but Yellowstone was first in position. Because he was defending himself. He said Yellowstone was always first to me, but they kept delaying it, and I couldn't keep delaying my project. So I made time when I could, but when they weren't available, I what do you want me to do? He said, I fit Horizon into the gaps. They just kept moving their gaps. So yeah, but we do have news that production is underway in Montana, according to Paramount. So Yellowstone, the second half of season 5, which is going to end the original series, completely is in production.
There's like
Costner
no
didn't say
Dragon
whether or
for
not he said he hasn't read the script. He doesn't know how they're going to finish it. They may finish it with or without him. He's not sure. He said he's not involved. He said he'd be willing to, but that's what we have is the pandemic and then the strike really started moving everything around for them, and he just was not going to sit around and wait for their gaps to fill his gaps. So he started with his Horizons movie and said, "Fuck you guys, I can't keep waiting."
There's like no chance
that.
that's going to be good, but yeah.
I think
Horizons or Yellowstone series finale?
Well, both, but I was
Both.
specifically talking
No,
about
I
Horizons. I mean, series finale. I think they're going to all phone it in.
There was also some salacious headlines, like it said, like Kevin Costner hinted that Taylor Sheridan was stealing some of my ideas for Horizon for the show, and he's done it from other movies or whatnot. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't know, that's all rumor in here.
Nah, it's getting a little delusional now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even really care anymore.
it.
It's been too long.
I don't even remember what was going on. It was like it was like he was.
They were
running
taking a
against
trek
Jamie or
down
some
to.
shit.
They were taking a trek somewhere with
down to the
moving
Quad 6
moving
ranch,
the
right?
cattle or
They were
some
getting out of
shit.
town or something, weren't they?
No, Jamie was
yeah.
running against him in the election.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, I don't know.
They it's just like, what the fuck are you guys
Honestly,
doing?
the show was running its course. The last season was boring to me. It wasn't really that great.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
and you know what really bothered me about that show? I mean, you brought it up a lot there, the Avengers, but the real thing that bothered me is they would always end a season on like a cliffhanger, and then they would come back and it wouldn't be as impactful as the cliffhanger made it out to be. Like,
Nah.
specifically, the season when, like, the big fucking hit happened on John and, like,
Yeah.
he got gunned down on the road.
But
You were-
everyone lived, basically.
Yeah,
You
you-
go back months later, and he's just woke up from a coma in the hospital.
Yeah, but you were like, oh, fuck, Jamie's going to go.
Somebody's got to die.
Not Jamie.
Yeah.
You were like, fuck, what's the other son's
Casey.
name? Casey's going to fucking go ham. And he didn't. He
Yeah.
just, like, popped up in, like, a ghillie suit. He's like, I don't see anybody. Like, oh, come on, man. Like,
They
I
just
don't know.
all lived. It was like crazy.
I really like Taylor Sheridan, but, like, I don't know if he knows why that show is popular. Like, I feel like that show really has, like, two very different audiences. I feel like there's, like, the Dusty audience who, like, appreciates that type of lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
because where you come from and
I
that's,
grew up in it. Yeah,
yeah, and that's totally fair. Like that, like
we
ran,
had cattle
Yeah.
and horses.
Yeah.
yeah.
So there's like that audience who like really is interested in that like blue blood fucking American like type of lifestyle, and I don't not like that. I'm just saying, like I've talked about it before, I don't identify with that. Part of the show that I like is like the American fucking like action part of it. It's like, oh, okay, you're fucking with me, I'm gonna fuck with you, and like there's the action part of it. And I don't know if Taylor Sheridan ever really like reconciled those two things. And I think towards the end, he really leaned into the whole like, I'm just a good old boy running for fucking
Yeah,
office.
I mean, it's
and-
that grit, really, I think, that captured a lot of America because you don't
Yeah.
really like, you got the really good shows like Suits, for example. Like, these are fucking New York attorneys who went to Harvard. Like, yeah, sure, it's going to be good and there's going to be some drama, but you're not going to get that same grit of like some dude that's been working out in the field all fucking day. And like, it's
Yeah.
just,
I just think Beth is
different.
like, Beth is not a relatable character. She's like too cartoonish, you know? Like Casey's a cool character because he's like comes home from war. Like, you know, you don't know whether he like they hint at him.
estranged from his father for
Yeah.
what he did. Yeah.
They hint at him being a Navy SEAL, but like you don't really know. But he's a fucking badass. That you do know. And like
Yeah.
Rip is a fucking badass. And like, but like you also like, I don't know. There's just the show is like a little bit weird, and I don't like the direction it went in. Like I don't care about the politics, to be honest with you. And that's something I'll like. I don't know. I just didn't care for it. But whatever. But again, how long?
We'll see how well this, but like after this comes to a close, he's got spinoffs spinning up. So
Yeah.
we'll see how the mind of Taylor Sheridan. But there's other shows work too. Like I know you guys haven't watched
Lioness,
the
haven't-
Spec Ops show.
Lioness.
Tiger.
Lioness.
Lioness.
Lioness,
Yeah,
yeah.
Lioness. Spec
I didn't,
Ops.
but I did watch Lawman Bass Reeves, which was really good. So
I didn't watch that
Yeah,
either.
that was good. And then the prison show
Mayor of
is
Kingstown.
really good too.
Mayor of Kingstown is great.
Oh, fuck. When is that coming?
Really
back?
good.
Soon.
So
Jesus.
like
I think.
Sheridan
June too?
I
is a
think.
writing machine.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
No, he is a writing
is.
machine, but I think
He
some
is.
stuff suffers because of it.
But that's what
Maybe.
some people are saying as well. Like Kelsner was like, he's a little bit. He got the Feige
Yeah.
treatment.
He
Like
got Feige'd.
you're just
Yeah.
too good. We need you to
Oh,
make
yeah, what
74
was-
more things, and he can't do it with the time he has.
Yeah.
Was that his show, the one with Stallone?
Yeah. Tulsa King,
Oh yeah,
Tulsa
Tulsa
King.
King.
which was also good. And then you got the fucking, you know, the show that hasn't come out yet, which was the Quad Six Ranch show with fucking what's his name?
Yep.
The kid who goes to fucking live
Jimmy.
there. Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
That's the thing. That's the mark of a show that like fell off a little bit. I don't even remember half the characters in that show, their names.
I remember
I don't
them.
know. I'm
If
just
I
terrible
just
with
think
names.
about it for a second, I'll remember them.
What's my girl's name? I can't remember her name.
His wife?
No, my girlfriend with the blonde, the pink hair. Oh, what was her name? The scrappy
Oh,
chick who lived in the
yeah.
bunkhouse.
Oh, I don't know. See, nah, that was just the.
She was the bunkhouse girl.
Yeah, what is her
Yeah, I don't
name?
know her
She
name.
talked with the accent. Nobody could understand her.
Yeah.
Oh, her.
Teeter.
Yeah,
Teeter,
Teeter.
yeah. I
Love
thought you
me.
were talking about, yeah,
Nah,
okay.
love me some Teeter. All right, what else you got?
Well, I only got two more pieces of news because you kind of stole my crossover news, but that's
Sorry.
okay.
Sorry.
So we'll go with this one. Amazon MGM has confirmed. We've put this on the news a long time ago, but this is now confirmed. Nicolas Cage will indeed star in their Noir Spider-Man live-action series.
Saw that.
It was rumored a long time ago, and we did report on it being a rumor, but it's now confirmed. Noir tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator in the 1930s New York who was forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero.
How did I steal that?
That's not it. I still have another piece of news.
Okay.
It was the Chinatown.
I see. Sorry.
So this is my, I guess, as good as I can get as far as a crossover. We're talking about the deep state, shady, secret, greedy guys doing things to control things.
The deep state.
Aaron Eckhart will play the U.S. president in a movie titled Raider from Con Air and Expendables 2 director Simon West. After a landslide victory, the president discovers the government is indeed controlled by the deep state and must act swift to save his family and the nation.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Production starts in the fall, so we got that coming up.
And he's in no way a Donald Trump caricature, right?
I don't, maybe.
Or what the MAGA idiots think Donald Trump is.
That's probably what they are going to think he is.
They think this guy wakes up in the morning.
He did what, was it not White House Down? He did the other one, wasn't it? Was it White House Down?
Olympus Has Fallen.
Olympus Has Fallen, yeah. So
you know
he's
the
done
scene
the president before.
Do you know the scene in 1989 Batman where he says to fucking Vicky Vale, he's like, he's out there right now and I gotta go to work, and then it's like the montage of him putting his suit on. That's what the MAGA people think Trump does in the morning. It's like him putting on his fucking not fitting belt and like his wig and like his orange makeup, and then he just goes and fights the deep state for us because he cares about us.
Suit up.
Yeah, suit up, dude.
Oh, there is one more piece of news.
Oh,
actually.
fuck. What is it?
Let's go.
Outer Range season 2 is out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I actually watched it all. I burned through it.
Oh, shit.
It's amazing.
Is it actually good, though?
And this is the problem. Like,
we
we were talking
enjoyed
about
the first
Yellowstone.
season.
Like,
real quick.
this is me and my roommate watched it together. We were talking about like this is the problem of like the drought of like what happened with the strikes and everything that caused the delay in it. Like we didn't remember anything that happened in the first season. I was like, wait, who is that? Wait, where did she disappear? Why are we doing this now? And
it was
so
a lot.
Did not rewatch or recap anything, but it's amazing.
Definitely gonna do a yeah, I believe it. I'm gonna for sure watch a recap because it was just so much that happened.
Season 1 was just a setup, Marvin. It was just literally a setup.
And
it was
now
all
it's like
confusion. And season 2, they just boom, boom, boom. They hit you with everything. You're like, oh
awesome.
My God, holy shit, this is getting wild.
I'm glad it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm really
loved
glad
it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they dropped all these
banger.
freaking episodes at once. The Amazon special. That's awesome.
I'm glad they did. But it Now I gotta wait another year and a half to see the next.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm still a big fan of when they drop it all at once. Like,
oh yeah,
me too.
For the
I
memes.
get why they don't, but like people really, I feel like most people just stay subscribed. I'm sure they have numbers to say otherwise, probably, but I feel like most people
I
just
do it
stay
for
subscribed.
the mailing, and Prime is just a convenient add-on. But I'm actually thinking about, because I don't order that much stuff from Amazon anymore, and I don't
part
really
of
use
the class
Prime
action?
No, but I should be.
Oh, there's a class action against Amazon?
because Amazon falsely advertised that stuff is free with Prime Video, but now they're charging
kind of
for
like
it.
Netflix. They all say it's ad free, and then when they roll out the ads, you got to sue them because you said, "Hey, I paid for this because you said it was ad free."
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody will get $2.38.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
I'll cash it with a face on my smile on my face. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So is that it for the news?
That's it.
All right. I'm sorry I stole your thunder, but thank you for the news.
It's okay.
Once again.
It would have been a good segue, but that's fine.
It would have been a good segue. How is the segue going to go? You were going to go from
So we were just talking about Chinatown.
the deep state.
Well, no, what do you mean? No.
You were going to connect the movie with Aaron Eckhart fighting corruption.
No, I used Aaron Eckhart. I had to use Aaron Eckhart in the deep state with the President Raider movie because you talked about.
But what was okay, I see. I got you. I understand.
Are you having a stroke?
No. I thought you were going to connect Aaron Eckhart fighting the deep state to the events of this film being like the deep
well,
state.
that was the best I could do with the news I had left. Is basically what I said.
Yeah. I got you.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
August 26th.
In August
2028. All right, so let's get into it. So once a week, folks. I mean, once a month. God, imagine if it was once a week. Once a month, Dusty and I take turns picking a movie that we want Marvin to watch that he hasn't for some crazy reason. This guy
that they think I should have. This one was kind of a stretch.
Ooh.
Watch your fucking mouth, Marvin.
I'm not saying that I didn't like it. I'm just saying I don't think this one is like a main movie that a lot of people have seen.
Well,
that's where I come from.
You'd be wrong because Chinatown is the holy grail of 1970s cinema. Its twist ending is the most notorious in American film, and its closing line of dialogue is perhaps one of the most haunting pieces of dialogue that's ever been put on a screen. You've got
I did love that.
You've got Jack Nicholson in this movie at the height of his powers as a compelling movie star as there's ever been, embarking on his famous love affair with Angelica Houston back in those days. You got director Roman Polanski, who at this point in his career was fucking haunted by the savage death of his wife, who was Sharon Tate, who was pregnant with his kid. And she was murdered by the Manson family and the Manson family murders, which we talked about when we talked about Rosemary's Baby, also directed by Roman Polanski. So you got Roman Polanski coming back to Los Angeles, the scene of the crime, literally where his fucking pregnant wife was killed, and where the fucking seeds of his own self-destruction are quickly planted after this, because he would go on to plead guilty to the drugging and raping of a fucking 13-year-old and then fleeing the country to Europe, where he's been ever since, still having a career somehow. Don't know why people still work with him, but okay.
Right.
And you've got Robert Towne's fabled script, which has been studied and researched and talked about in colleges and film schools and stuff, and is widely considered the greatest original screenplay ever written. So don't fucking sit there, Marvin, and say that you didn't have to watch this movie. This also
no, that's not what I said.
All right. The movie also marks really the eclipse of what was once the filmmaker friendly studios of the era, as they slowly but surely gave way to corporate Hollywood as we
blockbuster movies
suffer in now. The 1970s were like really the sort of end of that, like I just said, filmmaker friendly studios, where it's like, hey, you have a good script, go make the movie. And those days are over now.
Right.
Chinatown is set in 1937 and portrays the manipulation of a critical municipal resource, water, by a bunch of oligarchs. And as I said, it stars Jack Nicholson as private investigator J.J. Gittes and Faye Dunaway as Evelyn Mulray.
Well, this is a fight that's been going on in California for generations.
Yeah,
The fight over water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the story
Bosch did a whole season on it as well.
Bosch did?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a quick little rundown. In 1937, Los Angeles, private investigator J.J. Gittes specializes in cheating spouse cases. His current target is Hollis Mulray, a high-profile chief engineer for the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, whose wife suspects him of infidelity. In following Mulray, Gittes witnesses some unusual business dealings, such as a public meeting for construction of a new dam to create additional water supply for Los Angeles, as fresh water is vital to the growing community during the chronic drought. And it's also of note that Mulray opposes this dam. And in classic film noir fashion, we get a series of twists and turns, and the web of lies and deceit grows and grows and grows until we get to, as I said, the famous twist ending. So hit me, Marvin. What'd you think? Watching this for the first time?
Oh, I love this movie. It was great. I've always feel like I've been a fan of these like
noir
style movies, or just
they're great.
I mean, like even the game LA Noire is fucking amazing.
And do you see how much influence comes from this movie?
Oh, a lot actually. Yeah,
The music, the little keynotes, the ding, ding, ding,
yeah,
ding, ding,
yeah,
in the score.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I feel like at first, I don't know why I was thinking this was gonna be based on the name. I thought it was gonna be like an '80s action movie.
You're thinking of Big Trouble in Little China. That's why.
Probably, yeah.
Which is a John Carpenter movie with fucking Kurt Russell.
Movie.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
That's 100% what you were thinking of is Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, so I thought it was gonna be 80s action. It wasn't, but I still was like pleasantly surprised. It was great. I enjoyed everything about this.
Nice. So this was actually the first part of Townes' planned trilogy about the character J.J. Gittes. And the second part actually did come out as a film. It's called The Two Jakes. Which has Gittes caught up in another grab for a natural resource, this time oil, but in the 1940s. That was actually directed by Jack Nicholson, and it was released in 1990. It wasn't as much of a commercial success as this one. It was actually a failure by all accounts.
Was it good, though?
I've actually never even seen that one.
I feel like it's hard to cash in on stuff like that. It's not even a comparison, but like movies like Fletch, like the first Fletch movie was amazing, and then I wouldn't even call it noir. I mean, it's more comedic than noir, but
yeah,
the detective style stuff.
Yeah. So you mentioned, Marvin, that you've always liked these types of movies. So there's film noir, which is like the original fucking game in town, which was popularized in like the 30s and 40s, and film noir in French literally means dark film or dark movie. Okay. And it's actually argued among film scholars and fucking losers and like pretentious idiots whether or not noir is even a genre in and of itself, because there's like semantics about what a genre actually is, But in the 60s and 70s, you got neo-noir, which is like the new version of noir, and this movie was like that. And neo-noir has like a huge spanning list of films like that are categorized in that. Fucking Tarantino's movies are considered new neo-noir, and so it's a pretty vast like genre. But this is really everything that this movie has is what you would expect from a noir film now, or a neo-noir film. It's like very specific. The setting, it's usually like a detective and a femme fatale, and it's got those tropes.
For sure.
So Marvin, going into this, you weren't aware that you were about to watch arguably the greatest film ever made.
I wasn't, no.
Okay. And I'm not just saying that it's not like hyperbole. It's like literally
that was
arguable.
A coercive way to say it.
I mean, it's just is what it is. You were like, I don't know, did I have to watch this? And I'm like, yeah, it's like literally one of the best movies ever made. I see now that
it's a classic. I still don't think that this is one that a lot of like normies have seen, I feel like.
What do you consider a normie though? You?
Yeah.
Like
someone my age
that's
someone 30 years old
that's fair.
Hasn't seen a lot
Anybody that's a film buff will tell you it's one of the greatest.
Yeah.
And
people
that go to film school will say, I go watch this every year when I need to, bring myself down to ground level because of how good it fucking is.
I actually
I would just say like a lot of like normal film watchers haven't seen this.
Let's say if our podcast wasn't like if the sole objective of our podcast wasn't to make you watch things that you should have, I feel like as you would, let's say we just watched new movies, and you started to expand your movie watching, I feel like eventually you would arrive at Chinatown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's so heralded. It's like,
no, I see why.
It's one of the best movies ever made. Like, it really is.
Yeah, I agree.
And for a lot of reasons. So you got the screenplay, which again is considered like the greatest screenplay ever made. Like, it's perfect in every single way. You've got the acting of Jack Nicholson, who, as I said, is like at the height of his powers, but he's like unbelievable. We started talking about it in the beginning of the show, is like, you don't replicate that. You just can't. It's just he's a force of nature outside of just acting.
I actually wanted to talk about that. and
Yeah.
I wanted to save it because we weren't talking about the movie
Mhm.
during that part. But I haven't seen a lot of Jack Nicholson movies. Like,
Okay.
obviously, Batman, whichever
Mhm.
one that was.
1989's Batman, Tim Burton.
Yeah.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
That's another
I
great
haven't
one. Yeah.
seen that. I've
I think he
seen
got nominated for that one.
what's the Stephen King?
The Shining.
Yeah, I've
Mhm.
seen The Shining, but I feel like when we were talking about what's the guy that was set to maybe play in the remake, we were talking about
The prequel, Henry Cavill.
I mean the prequel, yeah, the prequel,
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
I feel like because Jack Nicholson, I guess he did such a good job, but it didn't feel like it was limited to just it being Jack Nicholson. Like, I didn't feel like, it isn't like Evil Dead where it's like, oh, it has to be.
So you're saying that you think other actors could fill in as JJ,
I
whereas
think so.
somebody,
I
there's
think
no
Jack
one else that can
Nicholson
play
did it.
Ash.
Yes, that's
Like
what
Robert
I
De
think. I think he did a
Niro
great
could have done it.
Yeah, I honestly, yeah. I mean, I think he did a great job, but he did such a great job though that he just became Jake. Like, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
No, I mean,
like I said, I haven't seen a lot of Jack Nicholson, but
Well, that's
there was like the one laugh, and that was pretty much it for
that
me.
laugh
It
was
just
like very
the
Joker,
laugh
right?
was like very Joker like, but the rest of it, I was like, okay, this is Jake.
Yeah. Well,
Giddy's.
I talked about that very thing recently. I think that's the mark
Yeah.
of great acting.
For sure,
Is
yeah.
when an actor can be so good you don't even realize that
Yeah.
it's them.
You don't see them as the actor anymore.
Yeah.
You see them as the character they're portraying.
It was one of my
Yeah.
criticisms about Oppenheimer, I think. And it's not
Right.
that movie was bad or anything. Like, it was obviously a great fucking movie, and it wasn't the performance. The performances in that movie were unbelievable. It's just, for some reason, I didn't get lost in Robert Downey Jr.'s role in that movie. I was like,
I'm actually the opposite. I feel like I did.
yeah. See, for me, I was like, oh, that's Robert Downey Jr. But in Iron Man, I'm like, that's Tony Stark. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the subject matter. But no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's like really the mark of like great acting is like you fucking make an
Yeah.
audience forget that it's you. You're like this character. You're this role. And that's the thing. That's like what your job is, right? And it's also the
Right.
job of the director because the director directs what fucking actors are doing.
But yeah, all that to say, I do think our boy would be able to play.
Okay. That's
um,
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Dusty, what do you think? Talk about this movie a little bit. You've seen it before, obviously.
I mean, yeah, it's a classic. You can't go wrong. Like I said, this is one of the oldest fights going on in California. Is the fight for water? They're still fighting about it. You can drive down the 5 or the 1 or the 101, and you go through those ag places, and they're like, there should be stuff planted here, but they won't give us any water. So
well, let's talk about
it's
it.
fascinating that it's still going on, and that it was going on even back then, and they're making movies about it back then. So find that really interesting. But just the way that the movie jukes and jives around, it really keeps you interested, entertained in what's going on. Like what they did with the way that old Jack came along. He got his nose cut, and
Oh
in the
my
scene,
god!
you're like,
That's
oh, that's cheap. You can kind of see his nose, but then they put the bandage on, and then he comes
Yeah.
out. He's got the stitch on, and
Yeah.
he's getting
That
all
scene though, when it
little
gets
jacked.
cut, it's fucked up. It's like you could feel it.
You
Yeah,
hear,
oh,
you
yeah.
hear it.
It's
Yeah,
like-
you hear it.
Oh man.
It was, yeah.
Um,
Really well done though. But yeah, I think overall the acting in this is amazing. The direction is amazing. It's a great story. Lots of good twists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really complain about this movie. I don't know how you do too much.
There's
It's hard to really.
Not a thing. I thought maybe Marvin would like think it was boring because it is like it's a slow moving movie, but that's like that's the genre. That's how these movies go. Is like it's like a slow build up to the ending where it's like, oh fuck, the big reveal.
Well, and they don't do. This is one thing that I love about like the old detective movies. They show you how they get to where they're going. Like he goes somewhere
Yeah.
and he sees something, And he's like, oh yeah. And he, people are asking about it and he's not letting on what he's holding the cards tight to the chest.
Yep.
And he's figuring things out and you're kind of slowly seeing this, but you're seeing like, this is one thing that I think Beverly Hills Cop did really well too. But like, I feel like they don't do that in detective movies anymore. It's like, they don't show you how they're detecting and how they're getting from like A to B to C to figure out what the fuck happened. It's just like, I am smart enough and I deduced it in my head. Like, I want to see it, motherfucker.
Yeah. I agree with that. I love the glasses, like how he saw them super early on, but he got interrupted.
Yeah. Yep.
And then it came back like full circle.
And also the saltwater thing, where because like he was introduced to the saltwater pond like very early on.
Yeah.
To piggyback off of what Dusty was talking about a little bit, the plot of this movie or the screenplay is very much influenced by what's called the California Water Wars, which were a series of political conflicts between the city of Los Angeles and farmers and ranchers in Owens Valley of Eastern California over water rights. As Los Angeles expanded during the late 19th century, it began outgrowing its water supply. The mayor of Los Angeles at the time promoted a plan to take water from Owens Valley to Los Angeles via an aqueduct. The aqueduct construction was overseen by William Mulholland, and it was finished in 1913. The water rights were acquired through political fighting and, as described by one author, chicanery, subterfuge, and a strategy of lies. Water from Owens River started being diverted to Los Angeles in 1913, precipitating conflict and eventual ruin of the valley's economy. By the 1920s, so much water was diverted from the Owens Valley that agriculture became difficult. This led to the farmers trying to destroy the aqueduct in 1924. The city of Los Angeles prevailed and kept the water flowing. By 1926, Owens Lake at the bottom of Owens Valley was completely dry due to water diversion.
Wow.
And this kept going basically all the way up until like 1994 when eventually they like resolved it a little bit.
I mean, they're still trying to build dams and reservoirs because they don't have the water reserves because they're using so much because there's so many fucking people.
And what do I always talk
stealing
about?
Water from Nevada, bro.
When we talk about like New York food and stuff, and I'm always being like a food critic or whatever, and I say the reason New York's food is great is because of the water. We get our water from upstate New York. We get it straight from the mountains, baby.
That's right.
But that's not available everywhere. In fact, I think living in a major city.
Well, that's most where California gets most of their water is mountain runoff.
Well, yeah, but I think living in like there's a lot of places like I know probably where you live, Dusty, where like your shit's chlorinated as fuck and stuff, and it's like vastly different.
Have really hard water, but we have. I mean, I'm right in the middle of Oklahoma, so you go a little bit more west, and you're 1 or 2 droughts away from a dust bowl. You go a little bit more east, and you're in lush green forests. So
yeah,
I'm on the cusp of it all, but yeah.
That's fair.
Really hard water out here.
So just a couple of things, little fun facts about this movie.
Let's go.
You like the facts, right? So, Towne, the writer, was offered $175,000 to write a screenplay for The Great Gatsby in 1971. But he felt that he couldn't do better than the F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, so he instead asked the producer for $25,000 to write his own story, Chinatown, which the producer agreed to. And Towne had originally hoped to also direct Chinatown, but realizing that, you know, by taking the money, he would lose control of the project's future and role as a director, So $25,000 to write a script that went on to be as, you know, revered and successful as this is actually pretty crazy. So I don't think
sometimes artists don't hold on to their convictions and they never make anything of themselves. Sometimes they sell out and they become good for a while and then they don't do anything else. But sometimes they hold on to their convictions and they make a banger like this and they become legendary. So
and I wasn't actually I wasn't being like hyperbolic. Like his screenplay is legendary. This screenplay, and it among critics and filmmakers, like it's often cited as like one of the best examples, if not the best example, like of the craft of screenwriting. And interesting, there's a little bit of a beef about that final scene. So, some spoilers if nobody knows. At the end of the film, our other star, Faye Dunaway, Evelyn, she's killed tragically in the finale of the film. But so this wasn't the original intent of Towne. Apparently, he wanted Cross, her father, to die, and he wanted Evelyn to survive. But the two argued over it. And Polanski insisted on a tragic end. Quote from Towne, "I knew that if Chinatown was to be special, not just another thriller where the good guys triumph in the final..." Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Roman Polanski quote. "I knew that if Chinatown was to be special, not just another thriller where the good guys triumph in the final reel, Evelyn had to die." So the writer and the director, they actually parted ways over this. They like, there was like a huge feud over it. And eventually Polanski ended up writing the final scene a few days before it was shot. So although Polanski decided to write the final scene, now this is where it gets a little bit murky. It's been reported that, you know, the happy ending stuff that the writer wanted, he's always denied those claims. And he says that he initially found Polanski's ending to be excessively melodramatic. He explained in an interview, "The way I had seen it was that Evelyn would kill her father, but end up in jail for it, unable to give the real reason why it happened. And the detective, Jack Nicholson, couldn't talk about it either. So it was bleak in its own way." Towne has retrospectively concluded that Roman was right, later arguing that Polanski's stark and simple ending, due to the complexity of the events preceding it, was more fitting than its own, which he described as equally bleak, but too complicated and too literary. So basically what the argument is like the ending was pure and simple, and that's all you really need. The plot is so complex. Go ahead, Dusty. What were you going to say?
It's supposed to leave you dissatisfied, I think. You're supposed to have that bad taste. Like, because oftentimes you go to movies and you're like, oh, there's this character in this character arc he's going to figure out. I've got it all figured out. And they hit you with something like this. You're like, oh, shit, man, that feels like real life. That fucking sucks.
Right. All that build up, all that just to realize
just to be like, yeah, and then that's what happens, guys.
Just a drop in the bucket.
One.
And it reminds me, the twist is kind of crazy too, because that's obviously like a big thing now, especially, you know, popularized by fucking M. Night Shyamalan. And I'm not gonna say popularized, but like he made it like his shtick, right? It's having a twist in his movies. Yeah. And it's like a movie like that, it's cool. It's like you watch a movie like, Marvin, have you ever seen The Sixth Sense? Don't say no. Oh, God. Well, anyhow, you fucking you watch a movie and there's a twist. I won't say what it is. I can't. I'd get arrested if I told you what the twist is. But there is. We got to make him watch that movie like pronto. But you watch a movie throughout, and then there's a twist, and it's like, oh wow, that's surprising. I didn't expect that to happen.
Right.
This movie is just twist after twist after twist after twist after twist after twist, and it kind of goes back to what Dusty said, where it's like the act of detecting, right? Because you're discovering new information as he does, and it makes it like so much more interesting until the final blow is like, oh my God, like, so he raped his daughter, had a fucking child. This is crazy.
Yeah. Well, she didn't say it was rape.
She did not say it was rape, but I mean, it's. I guess
it's
alluded
that. I mean,
to.
yes.
Yeah.
Legally rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it. Well, yeah.
I doubt it was consensual.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That brings me to the ending.
Which, real quick, that was a great scene too, because he was thinking that she just was lying over and over when she was saying it in the way that she was saying it. I was like,
smacking
oh my God.
The shit out of her.
I was like, why is, well, yeah, he was beating her. I was like, this is wild, crazy. It's 1970s, but
yeah,
her saying, you know, it's my daughter, it's my sister, it's my daughter. And it's like, oh, fuck, that's what she means.
Did you
like,
pick it up
shit.
like as she was saying it?
As she was saying it, but not until then, yeah.
No, but I'm saying like, because he smacks the shit out of her, then finally she explains it, but while she was saying my daughter, my sister,
when she kept flicking, I figured out, I was like, oh my God, this is
yeah, it's crazy.
Incest.
Yep.
Yes.
So I personally think the ending is great. I don't think that's arguable. Whoever made the decision to do it was right. And it is sad because like Dusty said, it's you're hit with like a dose of reality. And that the line at the end of the film, forget it, it's Chinatown. that is.
Oh, I thought you were talking about As Little as Possible. I love that callback.
Oh, go ahead, say it. Talk about it.
I just felt the entire ending. There were so many layers to it. With even with the cop shooting her, I'm like, if this cop, which he likely is on the payroll, like he's just like killing this woman to like secure, like to make his profits more, like to secure more money. Like I don't even feel like it was an accident that he killed her. Like it was like an intentional.
What's the quote
killing.
you're talking about?
No, I was just saying as little as possible when Jack Nicholson, when he looks at her, sees that she was killed, and he says as little as possible.
Yeah.
Because he's referring to what somebody asked him what he did in Chinatown, and he was like, as little as possible.
As little as possible.
Yeah. And he said it again, and it was,
Well,
I also like the confrontation with Jack and the dad, because he asked him, he's like, what are you worth, you know? What can't you afford? What meals can't you get?
Right, why are you doing
And he's
this?
like, it's about the future, but he's killing his, but he's also raping and murdering his
That's
family,
a valid question, right?
Right.
And that's one that like I know I've asked often is like, well, why do you like how much more money
When
does
is
Jeff
enough
Bezos
enough?
need? Like he's the fucking richest dude alive.
It is a
It's
valid
like
question.
him and Elon Musk are like juggling the fucking place of the richest man alive. It's so stupid. But so I
Which
really
one,
like the
trillionaire?
fact that like Jake is like a good guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he
is.
starts out, he's a little bit like, all right, he's just doing what he needs to do to fucking make a buck.
Yeah.
But like,
he's frowned upon because of his
And
work,
that's why
because
he's-
he's uncovering the dirty things of people's
But
private lives, but
he
he
is.
seems to be a fair, honest man.
But yeah, that's exactly why in the barbershop he calls it honest living, and he got so offended when the guy
You
was
want to
like,
step outside,
but he's
motherfucker?
like,
Let's go.
because Jake's, if you think about it, if you're Jake, you're like, do you know what these cops and politicians are doing? Like what I'm doing is nothing compared to what,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I'm just surface level. Like
Yeah.
this is nothing compared to how, what they're doing on the,
So
He's not
yeah,
wrong either.
that raises an interesting question, Marvin, what you're saying. So the ending is purposefully, I think, a little bit ambiguous. Like
it is.
you
It was-
don't get like solid proof that the cops were paid off by the guy or that they
but you
worked for
like
him.
The actions, yeah.
But the actions, they don't tell you no. And her last words are like, he owns everything. Like he owns the police. Like, what are you going to do?
Right.
Like,
That's
So there is that lingering question, but that's why that line that I was saying that closes the movie, forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown, is so powerful. And it wraps the whole movie up. And what does that line mean? That line has been debated among critics and fucking scholars
Chinatown
and
could be
people who write
anywhere,
about
bro.
shit. But really what it means is it could be anywhere, but it's a place where you never really know what's going on. And when you try to help or change something, you usually screw it up even more. Everyone who's there learns it's best to just do nothing because you can't help. Lou telling him that at the end of the whole, situation is basically, it's like, yo, it's beyond your control, man. Just don't fight. And it's representative.
Chinatown sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it's representative of a person's general like powerlessness against bigger, largely unseen forces. So the movie doesn't really have a happy ending for many reasons, because Evelyn's dead. The girl is going to end up with her fucking scumbag grandfather guy.
She can,
right.
have a daughter,
But also
granddaughter.
what's sort of overshadowed by that ending is that the bad guy won. Like he's going to do his fucking shady water bullshit and like fuck over all the farmers and all that
That's
stuff.
what solidified it for me that the cops were bad, is like she gets shot.
Yeah.
And then the cop's like, all right, well, cut him loose, let everybody go. I'm like, a lady just got shot in front of everybody. And you're like,
Call the
we need
ambulance.
to
I was like, wait,
detain
what?
and arrest everybody. They're like, no.
Well,
Let him go, cut him loose, let everybody go. It's over now.
Yeah,
Like,
his friend,
Jesus.
what was his name,
He said he was
Escobar?
doing him a favor. Yeah.
I was just saying, he said, I'm doing you a favor, Jake. Like, so it's just, and that line, forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown, just sort of perfectly encapsulates like that whole thing where it's like some battles you can't win.
Yeah.
And that's like that's like the noir thing. Is like, oh man, I just did all this stuff and like I lose. There's nothing I can do. What were you gonna say?
The funny thing is like this Chinatown in this sense is like Chinatown is like Gotham, and then after this fails, he goes on to be the Joker. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa,
Yep.
like that's kind of crazy.
And he alludes. It brings it back too. Like he alludes to it in that conversation when they had sex about like his time in Chinatown. And that's where you get all that information of like it's just a place where like you really are powerless to do anything, and that's just it. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Yeah.
And so, this screenplay is like widely influential. It actually brought more public awareness to the land dealings and disputes over water rights. That's been going on since like the 1910s, like the early 1910s. So this movie like sort of
And they're
brought
still
it to the
fighting over it
public eye.
today.
I'm sure, yeah.
They dump water into the bay and just to save like some little 2-inch like shrimp fish that they don't want to go extinct, the environmentalists. So the farmers starve for water and they dump hundreds of thousands of gallons into the water.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That last scene was just so good. The look on his face when he says as little as possible is like just complete hopelessness. It's like, geez, it was gut wrenching.
So little fun fact, the composer of this film, Marvin, Jerry Goldsmith, whom we talked about in the last Make Marvin Watch episode for The Omen.
Okay.
He's the same composer.
Okay. All right.
This movie came first. So this is why Dusty said he didn't want to show up to the Oscars that year when he won because he was so sick of not losing. He was so sick of not winning that he didn't want to go the year he won. But the last little fun fact that I have, and I'm curious if you guys noticed it. I wonder if Dusty noticed it more than Marvin.
I might know where you're going here. Is it referred to the cast member?
No, go ahead. What were you going to say before?
Her butler, Khan, was in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah. He's the dad. He's like anytime.
But he's been in a lot of shit.
Yeah. If there's an Asian movie or there's a need for an Asian actor, he's in. It's either him or the dude from Ronin. Not Ronin, Shogun, rather.
That's so true.
That guy's in fucking everything.
Everything, yeah. That's so true.
No, what I was gonna say, the influence of this movie is so strong that it inspired my favorite film of all time. What is that, folks? Halloween.
Really? This inspired Halloween?
Can you think about what scene it was? When he follows Evelyn to the house where he sees her with the girl.
When he like fades back and backs up, that
whole scene.
The whole scene.
The whole scene is shot. It looks like Halloween.
Interesting.
It was
Especially-
quite spooky.
I didn't pick that up.
When he's standing in the window and he's watching her talk to her in the bed, that is literally almost shot for shot the scene where Michael Myers is stalking.
But now that you do mention it, I do like. I mean, the way he sneaks around and stuff, like when he was on the roof and taking pictures and stuff, and like the tile slides in.
But that one, that too. But the one particular scene, because the camera's behind him and it's like he's moving and the camera moves. It's just if I should put together like a side by side for when we put out the edited version of this. But it's when
somebody said, "Man, he's so good at being sneaky. What if we made somebody that sneaky, except they were a serial killer?"
It's the visual style. It's shot for shot like Michael stalking Annie in Halloween. I'm gonna do a side by side, I think. But
nice.
That'd be great.
This isn't just me making this shit up. John Carpenter has stated that he sat down with the DP, Dean Cundey, and watched Chinatown before shooting Halloween, and he wanted to capture the feeling. He felt that Chinatown looked great, but there was also a darkness there. Something was off there. And that's what he wanted for Haddonfield in Halloween. And there's just a lot of,
That's great.
Yeah, little scenes there. And there is something off in Chinatown. Like there is an off-putting vibe to the movie. It's like a haunting. It's like a haunting thing. It's weird. You can't even really put your finger on it. And I'm not just saying it because John Carpenter said
it. It's like Big Brother.
You could feel it. Yeah. I mean, not even that. It's just like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's just a noir thing. I don't know.
It is, yeah. There was one more thing I actually just thought about now.
Yeah.
In reference to the police.
Why
I think they were paid off by him is because of how adamant they were with trying to get her for the murder
Yeah.
It's like they already knew he did it. They wanted to get her so they can just get her out of the picture completely.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's pretty clear that the cops, were paid off. I mean,
Yeah.
I think the movie makes that much clear. And it's like, again, literally like her last words.
Yeah.
He owns everything.
He owns, yeah.
Which is another like gut punch because like that cop is the guy that he relies on. Like that's his homie. That's his boy. Even though he's like kind of like pursuing him through the movie. Not really pursuing him, but he's like, if you look back at it through that lens, he kind of is pursuing him because he's always there when he's like in a position to get in trouble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but his friend already kind of knew, he was already kind of like dirty or like in the pocket of somebody because of.
Well, he talks highly of him earlier.
No, but when he referred to him being a lieutenant, he was like, oh, he just wants to keep that gold bar.
But the question is see, now this brings up another question.
Yeah.
I don't think the cop was always paid because remember, Cross asks him about his friend and he's like, is he a legit guy? I just want to know, like, da 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 da. So it seems to stand to reason that after Jake and Cross have that conversation, Cross is like, okay, let's see if he's legit. Offers him a fuck ton of money, and then boom goes the dynamite.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the casualness of that guy too. Cross, he's like, "What are you worth? 10 million?" He's like, "Oh, way more."
Yeah.
He's like, "What are you kidding me?"
What else did you need? Yeah, I feel like if you were gonna like maybe try and do a modern retelling of this, you'd probably do like the investigator that discovered that they're poisoning the fucking water in Flint, Michigan, and it's like, yep, nothing happened. Still corrupt and greedy up there. Sorry about it.
But that's what happens. It's actually crazy that this, like, it's it's a movie, of course, but like this shit really happens in real life. Like this is obviously what happens. It probably doesn't go as deep and fucking, and it's probably way more simple than the way it's portrayed in these types of movies because they're dramas. But like pure
Maybe
and
some
simple.
murder involves, but some incest and some rape.
Look what's going on with Boeing right now. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll have a fucking hitman outside my fucking door.
Dude,
Like,
it's insane.
how is nobody talking about what's happening right now? Boeing planes are like dropping out of the sky.
Well, I mean, the Secretary of Transportation said it was climate change, Dan.
Yeah. And they're just like, the whistleblowers are just like, oh, yeah.
Dropping dead.
I got really depressed.
2 out of 10, bro. 2 out of 10 are dead.
One got really depressed and killed himself before he was meant to fucking testify. One just got like magic, like he got like mysteriously fucking a mysterious infection. Like, what are we talking? Like, what?
Which one of those said, I did not kill myself?
The guy who was found in a parking lot with a gun in his hand and a bullet hole in his head.
No way.
Yeah, dude. It's like you can't even make it up. It's like, so I don't know. The shit like does happen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. For sure.
So I think the only question that I was left with this movie, and I don't know that maybe I just missed it, but I don't think I've ever kind of known, like, who killed Ida and why? Was it just to set up Jake?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I mean, the
that's a
cops
good
were
one.
already there. I think the cops might have did it trying to, I don't know. I
Well, I know who kills Ida. I mean, it happens off screen. I think it was obviously an agent of Noah Cross, probably Mulvihill or whatever the fuck that guy's name was.
Oh yeah, the fucking hitman or the enforcer guy or whatever.
Because she knew who paid her to pretend to be Mrs. Mulray, and she was willing to talk, for money or whatever. So that's probably why she was killed. That's probably not that big of a mystery.
I mean, also to make it so Jack had nothing. What substantial evidence does he have to bring?
Right.
to
There's no
fruition?
link.
Right.
And he's like, I've got eyewitness testimony. Nope, they're all dead.
That's another
That's
thing
true.
too. But if the movie doesn't end the way it ends, like he really has nothing on Cross. Cross is going to get away with it anyway. Like he doesn't really have any solid proof that
Circumstantial.
glass is
I
in a
mean,
pond.
even down to the people that bought the land, they're technically dead because they were printed in the obituaries as deceased. So,
well, that's another good thing too, because you ask how exactly is the old person's home or the Albacore Club? Like, how are they intertwined? The story is like a little bit ambiguous about it. and you just know that like, okay, somebody's buying land under those old people and like dead people's names. But the residents of the home had sons and grandsons who were members of the Albacore Club, and Noah Cross owns the club. So,
yeah, say, hey, Grandma, can you sign this for me? I need to get something done, and bam, land deed in your name, but I'm taking all the money.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And the old lady says it. She's like, "Oh, they do such nice things for us." Da-da-da.
Yeah.
But yeah, so great movie. I'm glad you liked it, Marvin.
It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm very.
There was something you said at the beginning of the show. You're like, some of these I don't know if I need to watch. Did you mean that about this movie?
Not. I wasn't saying it in that sense. I was saying. So the whole premise is movies that I should have seen, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole premise.
Or should have, one or the other.
Well, yeah, okay. So if we're saying should have, I'm just saying like I just feel like most normal people wouldn't have seen this type of movie.
Well, you're wrong there because most normal people are old boomers.
That's fair.
And they've seen it.
That's fair.
But most people your age, you're right, have not seen this.
Most people my age,
but, yeah, probably should give it a.
Did you watch this one with C?
No, I actually watched this one this morning, like basically right after I woke up.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. There was a little part of me that was like, maybe he's gonna find this boring. But I don't think. I mean, like for being a really slow film, I think it does a really good job of like moving, and like moving in a way that like it keeps you excited because you're always like you're like, whoa, what the fuck's happening? And it's like every time like a new thing is discovered, it's like fuck, like what now? It's like you just fall into another like pit of shit.
Right.
So yeah, I would be interested in a prequel, but what was I gonna say when we started the show? I was talking about something. I was like, we'll save it for later. Because it's a prequel, right? And you would imagine a prequel about him would be his time in Chinatown,
right?
But I don't know if I feel like that might like ruin this ending of the movie. It's kind of like when Rob Zombie showed like Michael Myers in the fucking insane asylum, like growing up into adulthood in his
like
version
he
of
did
Halloween.
as little as possible and got fired.
It'll
and
ruin
that's how
the
he become
mystique.
a PI or something.
I think that would be the plot and like his experience in Chinatown that led to this. But I just feel like the ambiguity of his experience is what makes that line so powerful, Yeah.
I mean, but you could build that up because it felt like, I mean, he's got the kind of gusto of a guy that wants to get things done and wants to do right. And it feels like a prequel movie would be like him being a young recruit trying to do actual good change and realizing that it was all, in vain. And so he might as well just do as little as possible.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say before we give our ratings?
No.
What are we doing next week? Love Lies Are Bleeding?
I don't know. We got
it's on the calendar, but
no, we don't have it on the calendar. It's a new month. Do we? Oh, I don't remember. Anyhow,
but I think we got that, but it may change. But I think that's the last thing on the calendar, so we got to talk about it.
Okay.
That's true.
So, one of the best films ever made, objectively, no question. It's got an 8.1 on IMDb. I actually think that's pretty fucking low. I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10. To be honest, I don't think there's a single thing wrong with this movie other than maybe him beating the shit out of her, but that's like a 1970s thing, so I can't fault the movie. I can't. I can't fault the movie for that, really. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's a 10 for me.
Oh, baby, let's go. Dusty?
It's fantastic.
I give it my perfect score. It's a 9 for me.
He used to give anything a 10.
He just refuses.
That's right. Nothing's perfect.
This movie was great. Yeah.
Right.
It was amazing.
So
highly recommend it.
Perfect scores across the board. Love it. Would you watch this again, Marvin? We often talk about that when we review.
I would easily watch this again.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Well, next time you're sitting around and you got nothing to do and you're flipping through the channels, not that you do that, but you're ever going, Chinatown, this is a good one. You can sit down and enjoy it because now you've seen it.
I wonder if my parents have seen it.
Here's a review here. 9 out of 10. I hated this movie. The first time I saw it, after one of my buddies claimed it was the greatest movie ever made, I mean, what could live up to that hype? Then, over the course of 20 years, I discovered a much wider world of films beyond what CBC and CTV showed late at night to pay the bills. We rented every black and white movie the video store had on tape. TCM came along. I discovered film noir. I drove Interstate 5 through California in the midst of a terrible multi-year drought. I visited Los Angeles. I discovered arts and crafts homes. Then I watched this movie again tonight, and I realized my buddy may have been right. It has Jack Nicholson before it became a caricature of himself. Jack Houston showing he was as good an actor as he was a director. And Faye Dunaway, my goodness, was she on fire for a decade or what? When she's trying to explain things to Jack Nicholson in the third act and she's breaking down while doing so, if that doesn't get you, you have no heart. But you know what else? If you know the ending, the movie is more riveting because then you understand why the characters are addressing the things they do. And you're watching the characters act and react, which is where the magic lies. This is a superlative film. I feel like a dope for taking 20 years to properly appreciate it. I only wish my friend were still alive so I could tell him he was right. Wow, that's depressing.
Oh, wow.
Good review, dude.
I agree with the rewatch. Like, that's literally why I wouldn't, why I would rewatch it. Like, so many things.
It takes you to the grinder of the desolate humanness of us because there's some people out there who do some shitty things for some shitty reasons, and life goes on.
Yeah.
It's true. All right. Well, is this our highest rated movie? I think it might be.
Probably, yes.
I think we've had another 10, 10, 9 before.
Have we? Oh, maybe that was that Everything Everywhere All at Once? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to go back. Dusty, you're going to have to start going back and aggregating.
I think Godzilla was 10, 10, 9.
Oh, no.
I need to do it before we get over 100 episodes because I'm going to have trouble once we get past 100.
I gave Godzilla a 9.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But,
so maybe that was the previously highest rated one.
Yeah. But yeah, all right. Well, there you have it, folks. There's Chinatown. I don't know if anybody out there watching this, if you're like Marvin and haven't seen this, fucking watch it immediately.
Watch it now.
Yes,
this
absolutely.
Must watch for sure.
Yeah, let us know what you think about it. If there's anything I missed that you feel would add to Marvin's knowledge of this movie, leave it in the comments. You can check out our website, harshlanguage.tv. It's where all our links live. If you want to get in touch with us, you can go there. But we're here mostly every week, so subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave a like on the video and all that good stuff. We appreciate it. But we will catch you next time. Thanks for listening.
See you.
Asta.